Welcome back to the Namaste Experience. I am here in Portland, Oregon, as you know. I'm very excited because next week I'm taking my granddaughter to Disneyland. And as you know, I'm very excited about that. She's very excited about that. But we're going to be going to a kind of Disneyland ourselves today because Disneyland really is just the experience of our total unconditional innocence and the joy therein, the joy that we can experience and express when we realize that we are totally innocent. And this has to begin by something we've been talking about for the last couple of days: unconditional welcoming. To welcome everything, no matter what, the high, the low, the good, the bad, with no definition, because there is no good and bad, because everything, as we know, is fuel for the awakening, which means that it's fuel for us remembering who we really are, who we've always been, who we cannot stop being, because it is truth. It is the reality of our existence. So unconditional welcoming also leads to unconditional gratitude because we're grateful for everything. And so I wanted to share something this morning that I came across. I wrote this some time ago, but I read it yesterday. I thought, well, this is perfect for this this experience because what we're truly being called into is what we might want to call the experience of enlightenment. You know, the experience of enlightenment begins by demystifying our ideas of enlightenment because the ego can use enlightenment as a tool to keep you chained just as easily as anything else. And so the idea that one day the tumblers will fall into place and you'll find yourself in a whole different experience or reality. And the truth is, you'll find yourself right where you've always been, right here, right now. The only difference will be you know that you are right here, right now. There'll be nothing pulling you to then or to when. You'll be completely content, welcoming every moment right here, right now. And so this is what we're going to share a little bit today. So let me read this to you. The realization of your true nature as a spiritual being is the cornerstone of any spiritual practice. It all leads there to the realization of your true nature. It's as simple as recognizing that the divine presence within you is the source of all power, all love, and all wisdom. Now, notice that it doesn't say that you're here to recognize the divine presence within you as part of the power, or even most of the power, or most of the love, or most of the, it says all. Remember that word all. It's like our motto, our credo: only love, only God, only now. This has to be total. I have to welcome everything. If I'm only welcoming the things that I decide in my mind are valuable or good or happy or whatever it might be, then I'm robbing myself of the whole experience of everything. I have to welcome everything without condition, unconditional welcoming. Okay. Through your devotion and commitment to this truth, you can access the infinite resources of the universe and manifest your highest potential. Your journey towards spiritual enlightenment is not a destination, but a continuous process of deepening your awareness of the divine presence within you. Notice that it says a deepening of your awareness of the divine presence within you. It's ever deepening, ever widening. There's no final destination. It's not like one day you wake up and then you're static within that awakening. No, you're active and alive and vibrant within that awakening. And there may be even times that you forget that you're awake, but then you remember again. And that's fun when you realize and remember who you really are. But you can do it right now. It's simply about welcoming right now, however right now appears to you. So let's do that together. Awareness is the key since it leads directly to knowledge. Awareness. But not the so-called knowledge that the ego claims. You are called to know who you are. And this knowledge exists wholly beyond, completely beyond all of the beliefs and symbols or concepts that you hold in your mind. There's nothing symbolic about your true identity. I like that. Nothing symbolic about your true identity. Though your ego, or the part of you that thinks that there's something symbolic, your ego is unable to recognize this. But you can recognize it by realizing that it has never stopped recognizing you. The truth has never lost sight of the reality of you. That's all you need to know. Because if you know that, then you'll share it. You'll give it away because you'll realize that the truth, the spirit, the love itself has never stopped recognizing who you are and who anyone is because that's all it does. That's what reality is. When God's recognition, this is important, when God's recognition of you and your recognition of yourself meet, you'll see the light that could never possibly fade. This is what it means to be enlightened. Enlightenment is simply the recognition that you are filled with light, that you are filled with grace, holiness, truth, that this is your true identity. It's a recognition. It's not a change. Do you remember that beautiful line in A Course in Miracles? Exactly that. Enlightenment is not a change at all. It's the recognition of who you already are and who you've always been. You don't get hit in the head one day or have some experience in India where suddenly you wake up and you're the enlightened teacher. More than likely, when you experience this, you'll be very quiet. You won't be like me. There won't be any need to convert anyone else because you'll see everyone in the same light. In fact, I've often said that there is something that will happen when you know your true enlightenment. There is one way to know this for sure. So I'll tell you what it is so that when it happens, you'll recognize it. When you see everyone as that, as whole, as perfect, as filled with light, when you see everyone as that, no matter what they say, how they act, anything, that's when you know. That's when you know that you've made no differentiation outside yourself and you've made no differentiation between your reality and grace within you. That's what it means to be awake, to see as God sees, to know what God knows, that there is only the beloved. Okay, let me go on. The key is to align your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions with your true nature as a spiritual being. When you live in harmony with the divine presence within you, you'll experience a state of inner peace and joy that transcends all external circumstances. Your spiritual practice is not about achieving or getting a state of perfection, but about embracing our imperfections with compassion and humility. Let me read that one more time because that's the key right there. Your spiritual practice is not about achieving a state of perfection, but about embracing your imperfections with compassion and humility. By surrendering your ego-driven desires and opening yourself to divine will, you can fulfill your purpose and contribute to the greater good. That's it right there. And you can do it right now. Yesterday we said that the welcoming prayer is as simple as a breath. To breathe in and to welcome whatever's happening, whatever you're feeling. And it's the same thing with the realization that you are now and forever filled with light, that you are now and forever enlightened. Just take a breath with me right now and feel that. Feel that light, feel that grace, loving and filling you. And then give it away. Give it to everyone you see. Don't hold it back. Don't think, oh, this is for me and for me alone. No, because that's the surest way to lose it. That's the surest way to fall back into the ego-driven belief system. But if you're willing to give this in any circumstance, to anyone, everyone, that's when you'll know. And that's when it will anchor within you. So we're going to turn now to someone who is, without question, anchored in this experience. So, Vicky, good morning to you.
Good morning, Brother James. Good morning, everybody. You all have your cameras on. Thank you so much. Oh, I want to thank you, James, because this week has been so exquisite. It's been so simple, and you have been so radiant. Thank you. And thank you, everyone on your screens with your eyes open and your hearts open. As I was sitting here with the music, so this is just a very present experience, this thought just dropped in, and this is how simple it is. When thoughts drop in, they come from the divinity in us, the God in us. It's that simple. It's not like you have to reach for them. It's not like you think them. They just come in as more awareness. And this is the thought. And I'm sitting here and I was, oh, I'm perfect just as I am. Because I was washed my hair and I'm looking, oh, I wonder, do I really have gray hair now? I don't know. I can't tell because I had colored it and streaked it and did all these things. Said, I don't know what I have anymore. And then it's like it doesn't matter. All of it's for the fun of it. It really is easy that way. So I'm sitting here thinking, oh, gray hair, no gray hair, extra weight, no extra weight, nothing touches the God, the love inside of us. Simplest way to say I that comes from my divinity is it comes from love. And it's what you were saying, awareness and acceptance, 100% awareness and acceptance. When we become aware of how controlling we've tried to be to protect ourselves, to keep ourselves safe, to fit in, to be included, to get along, to survive. It's exhausting, isn't it? Just the words are exhausting. We've done that so much. God bless us all. Oh my gosh. And I just want to say thank you, everyone, for doing your best. You did a great job. And now, thank God, together, we found the place. Whether we do it, I don't do it all the time, 100%. I do my best to do it 100%, but I don't. But I do know how to say, so what? I know how to do it right now again. Right now, I can do it again. Right now, I can 100% wholeheartedly accept everything. Gray hair, a round tummy, all of it. I can just, someone likes me, someone doesn't like me. I accept it all. It's like, so what? Nothing changes the love, the divinity that we are. And it's not so hard to see that in everyone. Everyone's got the God in them. I knew that as a little girl. Just that. What gets confusing is when we add more to it, but they don't do it right. But they should do it this way. But it's like, listen, who cares how the game figures play? Who cares what script or costume they wear? It's not who they are. Do you want to play that game? Then jump into that board. You want to play this game? Jump into this board. Doesn't matter the boards that we jump into in time and space. They're boards of judgment and identity as being separate, as not being love. And somewhere when we get the message, oh, we really are love. There is God in everyone. And it is that simple. So I'm just going to pay attention to the God in everyone, no matter what they're saying or doing. That way you get to enjoy everybody. And you even enjoy their script and their whatever act they're in. Because the ego separate mind always wants to judge because it's always protecting itself. That's why peace comes with defenselessness. When we stop trying to defend ourselves, we naturally stop judging everyone and we let them be. Let them be and accept them as they are. It doesn't mean you tell them, oh, yeah, go do this, kill more, or go do that, or, yell more. You don't do any of that because you know that our judgment and direction to tell someone to do it better, right, or wrong is what keeps the seeming problem in place because it's adding to the identity of being separate. And that makes everybody afraid. When we fall back into the God in us, or love, call it love, that's universal enough. When we fall back into that, then we become like that unconditional mother's love. We just love everything and everyone as part of us. Like a mother loves an ugly child or a pretty child. It's their child. They're going to love them and take care of them. They're going to love them and hold them, ideally. But that's the nature of love. And when we fall back into trying to figure it out, we've just fallen back into fear and out of love. It's that simple. So if we look at everyone and spot, like just look at the light in everyone, and whatever the costuming is, it doesn't get in the way anymore. It doesn't get in the way of when we want to see innocence and love and wholeness in everyone. And when we accept it in ourselves, that's the only way we get to see it in everyone else. When we let our mistakes be just mistakes, no big deal, and know the best part, know that they get corrected. Keep going down the flow, and eventually they all get corrected for us, not by us. Everything is for us. We just have to keep riding in that flow, and everything is given to us, and it's not by us. So we get to be here and we watch everything. Joel Goldsmith, I love his word, behold it all. We get to behold with wonder. I wonder what God's going to do with this mess. I wonder, and I do, whether you look at the climate or politics or your family or friends that seem to be here, here and there. I wonder, but there's no more, oh, I have to fix it, or they're doing it right or wrong. I just, oh, I wonder it's like going to Disneyland. I wonder what Tomorrowland is going to look like. I wonder, I don't know, but I'm ready to accept it, to enjoy it. Acceptance, awareness, and I'm telling you, enjoying something brings it into your center, into your gut. When you enjoy something, it's like having a big belly laugh. You get to be with it, not with the appearance of it, with the essence of it. We're living here by essence, by spotting the sparkle everywhere, catching it, enjoying it, being with it, and then beholding as it continues to unfold as our way of life. So
Mm.
thanks for keeping it simple, Brother James. Thank you, everyone. Love you
Oh,
all.
it is so simple, isn't it? And you express it so beautifully. And something that came to me as you were sharing, Vicky, here in my room, let me see if I can show you. This is my little tiny house. Do you see that little radiator down there? Okay. So that's my heat source. And I realize that this is what we are called to. We are called to be radiators of this divine heat, this divine radiance. And this whole room is filled by it. It's not only heating itself, it's heating me and everything else in this room. And this is what we are called to do. We are called to be on fire with that heat, the heat of divine love. A few months ago, I played a little trick on all of you, and I talked about, I said this was an experiment that they did in a prison where they, in this prison, in each of the cell blocks, they would put one person who was awake, one person who could look at everyone and see them as who they really were. And they would put that one person there and they would live in the cell block with the prisoners. And I said that it was an experiment, and what happened was everything transformed around them. Now, even though it wasn't a real experiment, I think it would be the same result because they're a radiator. They become the radiation of this divine love, and it influences and affects and changes everything and everyone around it. So this is, if you remember, we've used this analogy many times, your experience within the ego context is a prison. I've told you before that all you really need to do to be reminded of what perception, egoic perception really is at the end of everything that you say, like I'm going to be going to lunch later in the prison. I think at 2 o'clock I'm going to do yoga in the prison. Just add those words in the prison to everything, and you'll remember that this is a prison of perception, and I can break through from this by being the radiator of this divine love. It affects, it warms, it heats everything and everyone. So we're going to go to Calico for a few minutes, and then I see Scott is perched ready to go as well. So good morning, Calico.
Morning, James. And this is I love these topics. Vicky said it's exhausting. Keeping the ego in place is exhausting. It's like you have to come up with new things you don't like about people just because you don't like them. I mean, it's just exhausting. Why bother? Let it all go. Drop it, stop it, use whatever is in your mind to just cut the crap. And the only crap there is the stuff I'm spewing. So it's like, it's easy. I have an audience of one that needs to be gotten into control. And and sometimes I do that really well. And I must say, I don't know, maybe it's wisdom. I don't know. But as I go through this life and get to be a more mature age, it is easier. It's like I can't take any of this serious anymore. It's like I'm so clear that it is a program. We've just downloaded this mutual app. It's called Life 101. Well, guess what? It's time to delete that app and put in Life 2.0 or Heaven or whatever you want. But time to take the virtual reality glasses off. This is not real. And I'm just getting that so clear. And I have the most fun with it because I laugh at it now. I'm here by the washer and dryers, and some people take their washing and dryers very seriously. And I just have to sit in my room and howl. It's like, I don't know what they're so serious about. They're washers and dryers. Who cares? Some people get there on time, some people don't get there on time. And then there's all this commentary that goes along with it. And I just go, I go back to what I'm telling myself a lot these days, and it's changed as of yesterday. Welcome this moment. Welcome this moment as it is the moment that's given. So, if you want to fight it, you go right ahead, but it's exhausting. And I'm done fighting it. I'm over it. Life is short. Get on. Thank you.
I love it. Get on with it and get over it as well. It takes me back to that wonderful Bob Newhart. Just stop it. Stop playing the silly game. All right, Scott, what do you have to wrap this up and take us home? Got to unmute.
So Calico, it sounds like you've studied with my favorite Indian guru as well. Why Baba? And of course, you don't have to go to India to connect with Why Baba. All you have to do is repeat the mantra, Why Baba? Everyone, let's repeat that mantra. Why Baba? When your love flows through me, I am radiant. I'm on fire. When your love flows through me, I am radiant. I'm on fire. I can feel your light as it shines. I can feel your light as it shines. I'm tossed and tumbled in this washing machine. Nothing to fear, my soul is getting clean. Everything comes out sorted out in the end. And all the tumbling is my best friend as I feel your love flow through me. I am radiant. I'm on fire. I can feel your light as it shines. I can feel your light as it shines.
Beautiful. Thank you, Brother Scott. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Calico. Thanks to all of you. Now let's go out and live this. Let's go out and be those radiators by welcoming everything in every moment and realizing you're already awake. There's nothing you need to do now. Just simply be that. And to that we say, Amen.
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 Amen. Amen.
Amen.
E punto!
Love you all. Have an amazing day. Namaste.
Big love.